everybody, it's Murgle, and today we're going to go over the Class Order Hall optimized gold making. Yes, the Class Order Hall is very profitable in Legion, and let's just give you a little hint because at first I was unaware of this, but unlike the Garrison originally did, the Class Order Hall item level of your followers actually affects how much the gold from the mission is going to be. So let's go here. As you can see, almost everybody that I use is 850. This is my follower that comes with me. He's not actually going on my missions, but we'll go and look at the mission I just received with mostly 850 followers. Look at that. The bonus is 750, as well as a 1071 gold reward just from this mission. So this mission potentially can be 1750. Well, actually 1821 gold, so 1,821 gold. Not a bad mission. Now 200% is the highest you can get on any mission ever, because that'll cap out your bonus amount and you will have a 100% chance to receive both these items, if that makes sense. So as you can see, I can throw in a couple followers here and we'll get way up there. We're at 182. And then boom, I now have a 200% chance to make 1,821 gold. Very lucrative. The new Class Order Hall is even more profitable than the Garrison, in my opinion, because once you have your followers at these item levels, you're going to see these missions fairly frequently. And when you get missions for items like this is a toy. Well, it has a 676 gold bonus reward. And we can probably hit that 200% with this mission. 192%. That's an 8% failure rate, but I mean, we're pretty good on the chance that we're going to get that 676 gold. So, again, these missions are almost more lucrative than the Garrison after its nerf. So, if they were trying to fix it, they did a poor job, right? They're making it even easier to make gold in Legion. But in any case, you're not going to have those numbers right away, nor is it going to be that easy to get to these follower item levels. But I will show you how you can get there fairly quickly. So it'll take you about a week, I'd say, plus a little bit of luck, right? You have to be able to get enough class order resources to get to that point, which becomes easier once you unlock this item, however means you manage to get it. I personally received mine from a box, which you get for completing the you get world quests for groups, right? And I got mine inside of a group world quest, but that was luck, right? You may not get this for a while, or you may get it really early on, but it is an equipment that you can give to your follower called Elixir of Plenty. Grants 100 Order Hall resources when completing a world quest as a combat ally. So this is really good, because every world quest, no matter what the world quest is, when I complete it, I get an extra 100 Order Hall resources. If he has both equipment slots unlocked, that'd be a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I can stack up Order Hall resources immensely fast, not counting any world quest that already gives them. So if you have 2 unlocked, as well as just a massive amount of Order Hall World Quest resources, you're going to get tons, which allows you to do your stuff. Now, completing your Class Order Hall stuff gives you a lot of resources as well, which will allow you to do the researches. And the researches are very important for getting extremely successful missions. Now, the research abilities from each Class Order Hall kind of differ, but most of them are identical. They did make a little separation, so when you look at this and maybe you're on a hunter, you're going to say, oh, I don't have this ability. They're not all identical, but they have very similar effects. And for me, this is the order that I found most effective. So, each rank gives you an option between 2 things. Now, well prepared, increase the chance for crest rewards to get a rare or epic bonus upgrade from non-repeatable quests. not really going to affect your class order haul. If you're trying to optimize gold profit, this only affects you while leveling, but it's not helping you in your class order haul. So you go for the other ability. Now for Demon Hunter, it's called the Hunt. Enables the Hunt ability, which increases the success chance of the first mission you send each day by 20%. So if you log on and you see a massive gold mission, make sure it's the first mission you send. Now, for every class, this may not be identical. I've seen it be something like increase the success chance of your first mission with just minions. So if it's not a mission with minions, it wouldn't affect it. But for Demon Hunters, it's the first mission you send each day. So whichever option in your class order hall increases the success chance, then that's the option you'll want to go for your class order hall. The second option, Twisting Nether. Again, this varies from each class. I've seen very, very odd things for this one, but for Demon Hunters, it allows you to kill a demon that I haven't seen many beneficial items drop from him. Like when I killed him, I didn't see anything great, so I don't see much point in picking this as a Demon Hunter. I think he does drop something secret though, so maybe if you're going for that secret, it's okay. But for the other option, enables Vengeful Retreat ability for all missions, which increases your success chance of missions with minions by 10%. Another increase to your success chance, which every class is going to have something in this level, like this tier, that will increase your success chance, which is what you're going for, right? You want to succeed at every single mission with a 200% mark if you can hit it, but not always going to hit it. So always go for what's giving you the best success. Now, Tier 3, the Training Ground and Fell Armaments. Later on, this one might be the better option, but for early on, to get your guys maxed out as fast as possible, as well as the chance at a couple lucky items from this, you want to go with Fell Armaments. Now, every class order hall has a version of this, so you don't have to worry about this not being there. I looked up all the class order halls. They all have this, and it allows you to place work orders for champion armaments or equipments in exchange for order resources. It costs 50. Now, the location in your class order hall will vary, but I will show you what it looks like, and we'll go up here and check it out. Alright, and this is what it would look like. You talk to her, and you just place it. You can place 4 work orders. Every 4 hours they renew, so 4 work orders for 16 hours total. You start it, and then it costs 50, so a full starting would cost 200. It's not super expensive, but you can get all kinds of items from it. Like any kind of armament you're able to receive from it, obviously epic being more rare, but as you see, I've gotten all these already from it. I've got a carrot on a stick, it decreases the mission duration, which is cool, but I've also gotten the Pathfinder Sandal. It's a 15% decrease in mission time. So I mean, you also would be able to receive that 100 resource thing with a little bit of luck. It's all RNG, so you really got to get lucky, but there's always a chance. Oh, and excuse me, the main reason you're taking that thing is because it gives you the items which increase your followers' item levels. You can get an item for 5 item level, 10 item levels, and 15 item levels. That's why it's extremely important early on. I was forgetting the whole reason to mention why those were useful, and that's why you have to take this thing to get your followers' item levels up really, really fast, because you can get missions for it, but it's only like a 5 item level increase each mission. But with this, you can get a couple item levels every day. If you're lucky, you could get 4 15 item level items in one day, but that's immense luck. I only received one 15 item level thing in the entirety of increasing all of their item levels to 850. So you're mostly going to get 5 item levels, 10 item levels. You can get the occasional rare 15 item level, but you need this early on so you can max out their item levels. 850 is currently the max on their item levels. But with each patch, most likely they're going to increase their item levels. So, my recommendation, and this is on shaky ground because we don't know what item level they would increase them to, but I would say you keep this until you have all of the doodads or champion equipments that you want. So once you've completed all the champion equipments that you would like, keep this until you have at least a stockpile of 50 item levels for each follower, and then continue to do missions that give you items to increase their item level. Just because, one, we don't know if they'll increase the champion limit. You're only currently allowed 5 champions, but you unlock, I think, 7, if I remember. We'll go check how many I have sitting in backstock, because they give you a very, very small amount of champions to use, which doesn't really make sense because they don't give you very many champions to begin with, so I don't really know why they limited it. But yes, you get 8. Excuse me, it's 8. And 1 will most likely be your follower, so he's not even going to be used. And you have 3 that you can't even use. So that's why I would recommend keeping that ability until you have a stockpile of 50 item levels for all these guys. So that would give you 250 item levels on backstock, just for when, 1, they increase it, or 2, they may allow you to unlock these guys, which would mean you would have plenty of item levels to immediately upgrade them. And the only reason I'm saying this is here, I will show you, it gets expensive, and that's why you don't want to change it unless you're absolutely certain you're ready to change it. So let's go over here again, and I will show you. If I were to swap it, it's going to cost me 2,000 resources and 3 days just to go back to this one. Now, this is nice because it increases the maximum number of troops that you can have. And troops are really, really useful. You're using them all the time. So it'll give you a 1 increase to both styles of your troops. And again, every class order hall, no matter what it is, seems to have this ability. So both of these abilities, while they have different names, are identical on this tier for every class order hall and I looked at all of them. So unless they change this between Legion, this is staying the same, and you don't have to worry about that. Now, the next tier, again, it was very, very similar with and not every single one, but it was very similar on this tier. And I picked this one. Newly recruited Ash Tongue Warriors become Naga Myrmidons, increasing their success chance by 5%. And the reason I picked this one is because a lot of times you'll run out of these guys really quickly, especially without this upgrade, because you only have 2 of them, and they get sent really, really fast. Even though it increases their success chance by a decent chunk, I decided that it was better overall to pick the 5% instead of a 15% increase, because you're going to be using these guys way more than these guys. So that was personal preference. Maybe I'll find out later that this would have been a better choice, but overall 5% seemed like the best choice. And lastly, these are identical with different names as well. This tier was identical with different names as well. Now, what this tier does is Focus War Effort allows you to place a work order for one of your 3 weekly Seals of Broken Fate in exchange for order resources. That's if you just don't want to spend gold. Which, if you're a common raider, this may save you a decent bit, but overall, I didn't see much point in it. If you're going more for passive gold increasing in your garrison, right? You want to log on and do your lazy missions and then log right back off. This was the better option. And it allows you to place a work order for the Empowered Rift Core used to unleash the wrath of your order to instantly complete a world quest on your map every 3 days. So what it would do is it gives you the ability to place a mission place a work order for an item, and that item allows you to instantly complete a quest. a world quest for 100 resources. For me, it's not this woman. It's over there. Sorry. It's this item. It's called the Empowered Rift Core, which allows me to use the Rift Cannon. Now, I placed the work order with this woman, but it's currently sitting there because it's a unique item. You can't hold multiple of it, but you can place the resource right after you've collected it. So you can have one sitting there even though you have one. Now, it's not really important to do that because it does take 3 days to use it, and I'll show you what it looks like when you use it. By the way, every class has a version of this. It may be a different name with your class, but every class had a version of this. So what it does is in 2 minutes I can actually use it. When you look at a class, a world quest, you can scroll over it and see what it gives you. Now you can't do anything that's blue. It can only do the clear normal quests. So we go up here, Valshara. Now if I'm trying to stockpile on resources and be as lazy as possible, I look for a world quest that gives me the most class order resources, which I couldn't do this one. It gives 1,000, but I wouldn't be able to do that because it's a purple one. We need one that's clear like this. So we keep looking. There's a 475 again. And nothing. So I found 2 475s. It would be this one or this one. If I'm trying to be really, really lazy and I don't want to do anything other than log on and do it, I could use this, blow up that, which maybe if I open my map again it'll work. Yep, there we go. I'll even show you how it works. So I have a 475 mission here. I can blow it up and it'll instantly complete it as if I went and did that quest. My follower gives me an additional 100 resources. If he had 2 of those, that would be 675 resources without doing anything other than sending that little tiny mission really fast. And then voila, I've got an additional 675 resources. So, again, you can only do it every 3 days, but it is passive. It only costs me 100 resources to make that item. So I made 475 resources off doing that. It didn't cost me anything other than going out of my class order hall and sending that little thing very quickly. So as for the final thing, obviously if it's your raiding character, it makes sense to unlock it, but if you're just using that character for simple sake of making gold from the class order hall, it's not really important to unlock this tier. This tier is the same for every class, takes 14 days to unlock, costs 15,000 class order resources, and increases the number of legendary items you can equip by 1. Legendaries are pretty infrequent. I've gotten one myself, and I was in the wrong spec when I opened the thing, so I ended up getting one for tanking, but I usually am on DPS. Oh well. Not a big deal. I still use it. It's still really powerful compared to most items because the way the stats are of the legendaries. So, you know, it was a big upgrade irregardless. But that last tier is not going to affect your gold making in your garrison whatsoever. So, as for that, you do have to hire these. These guys are like, they die with your missions. So you have to rehire them all the time. The basic one costs 20 class order resources, and the special one, the stronger version one, costs a lot more at 85. So these guys do consume a lot, but they're necessary a lot of the times for increasing the success of your mission. So like you saw there, we'll go ahead and make this a 100% mission. My blades are ready. And you see, I can get all the way up to 100%. He'll die with this mission though. These hearts, each heart is lost with each mission. Some missions instantly kill them no matter how many hearts they have. So you gotta look out for those missions. Let's see if I can find one that says it. I forget what the name of it is. I think it's like cursed or something. Or lethal. There you go. Minions troops on this mission will be killed. So irregardless of how much health they have, he would die. I'd lose all 3 hearts. So you don't really want to sacrifice a really expensive minion for the sake of him instantly dying. If you were on one of these missions, let's say this was a gold mission, I wouldn't want him to go instantly die just because I wanted to. I mean, it's up to you to decide if that's worth it. If it's definitely gonna get you a lot of gold, then of course suicide him. But if it's something that's not giving you a ton of gold, I wouldn't kill your class order hall resources really fast just for the sake of it. If that makes any sense. You can choose to, all 100% up to you, but that's a recommendation from me, because if you're trying to be lazy and AFK as much as possible, burning through your resources very, very quickly is not the way to do that. So, yes, that's how I would do it. Now, the last thing you're going to get that will increase your mission success chances, of course, is equipments. Equipments are unlocked, one, through getting lucky. When you're doing your world quests, you can unlock equipments from that. You open a crate for doing 4 world quests every day for each faction, so you can get them in that crate, or of course you can get them from the armaments thing. So the equipments are really rare. You know, the ones you're going after, you might not see it for a while. So I would recommend equipping the junky ones. Like, she's wearing a well-worn stone. When I get something better than that, you know, I would equip it to her. But for the time being, well-worn stone was the best option. The well-worn stone increases success chance of missions by 5%. There is an epic version of this. Not sure what its name is, but each one has a version that is better than the last. The blue one's called Lucky Doodad. It gives 10%. And of course, there would be the epic 15%. So if she was wearing 2 15% chance things, that means no matter what mission she's sent on, she has a 30% increased chance of success. Very, very good. Now, there are special items which you might want to invest in too. This is a singular item called Sturdy Hiking Boots. Equip a champion with the Sturdy Hiking Boots, grants 20% increased success, but the mission has to be over 8 hours. So if it's a really long mission, this is better than the epic version of this, but it has to be over 8 hours. So overall, it would be best if every follower had the 15% success item. But early on, you might want to go for things like Sturdy Hiking Boots. I could equip these, it would replace it, and now she has a 20% chance on very long missions. So that is the overall guide on how to get the most out of your garrison in terms of gold. I hope I keep calling it garrison, but it's actually the class order hall. So I hope that helps. I hope you enjoy. And things like this are very sad, because no matter what I do, it's cursed, means I can't get that 676 gold. So it's kind of just like a laugh. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.